sparkling water seems like the perfect healthy swap. Zero calories, zero sugar, just refreshing bubbles dancing across your tongue. But for seniors, hidden dangers are fizzing beneath that innocent surface. From PFAS contamination to enamel-destroying acids and misleading natural flavor labels hiding chemical cocktails, some brands could be silently damaging your kidneys, bones, and heart. Today, we are exposing 9 sparkling water brands to avoid at all costs, and 2 that are actually worth your trust. Coming in, at number 9, we have Perrier. Perrier, the iconic green bottle, the French sophistication. For decades, this brand has promised pure, natural mineral water straight from the springs of Vergès, France. Elegant, timeless, trusted by millions who believed they were drinking something pristine and untouched by modern contamination. Walk into any upscale restaurant and you will see that distinctive green glass bottle on white tablecloths. It signals refinement. It signals health consciousness. It signals that you care about what goes into your body. But here is what Perrier does not want you to remember. Back in 1990, Perrier faced one of the largest beverage recalls in history. Over 160 million bottles were pulled from shelves worldwide after benzene was discovered in their supposedly pure spring water. Benzene, a known carcinogen, the same chemical found in gasoline and industrial solvents, lurking in your sparkling water. Think about that for a moment. A substance that can cause cancer was flowing through the same production lines that filled bottles destined for your dinner table. The company blamed a dirty filter. They said it was an isolated incident, but independent tests conducted afterward revealed the contamination had likely been ongoing for months before anyone caught it. Months of consumers sipping what they thought was pristine French spring water, unaware they were ingesting a substance linked to leukemia and blood cancers. How many bottles were consumed before the recall? How many people unknowingly exposed themselves to a carcinogen while believing they were making a healthy choice? Now, you might be thinking that was decades ago. Surely things have improved. But here is the uncomfortable truth. Once a company cuts corners on quality control badly enough to let benzene slip through, how much can you really trust their systems? How many other isolated incidents never made headlines? The infrastructure that allowed benzene to enter their water supply existed for a reason. Corners were cut somewhere, protocols were ignored, and consumers paid the price. For seniors, this matters more than you might realize. As we age, our bodies become less efficient at filtering toxins. The liver and kidneys slow down. What a younger person might process and eliminate, an older body may accumulate. Carcinogens that might cause problems over 20 years of exposure could accelerate damage in someone already managing kidney function issues or taking medications that stress the liver. Your body is already working harder just to maintain baseline function. Adding potential carcinogens to the mix is a risk no senior should take. And then there's the mineral content. Perrier contains significant levels of calcium and sodium. While calcium sounds healthy, excessive intake can interact with certain heart medications and blood pressure drugs. Seniors on thiazide diuretics or calcium channel blockers need to be particularly cautious. That refreshing bottle could be quietly interfering with medications your doctor prescribed to keep you alive. The interaction might be subtle. You might not even notice it. But over time, these interactions compound. The sparkling bubbles feel luxurious. The glass bottle feels premium. But behind that sophisticated image lies a history of contamination and mineral levels that may not suit aging bodies. Perrier promises purity from ancient French springs. What they delivered was benzene, and a recall that should have shattered consumer trust forever. At number 8, we have LaCroix. LaCroix, those colorful cans, the playful fonts, the promise of innocent refreshment with nothing but carbonated water and natural flavors. For years, LaCroix positioned itself as the healthy, fun alternative to soda. No sugar, no sodium, no artificial ingredients, just pure, bubbly goodness. The cans practically radiate wholesomeness with their pastel colors and simple ingredient lists. Open a can and you hear that satisfying hiss. The bubbles tickle your nose. The fruit flavor seems light and clean. Except that is not quite the whole story. In 2018, a class action lawsuit rocked the sparkling water industry. The suit alleged that LaCroix's all-natural claims were deceptive. Their products allegedly contained synthetic compounds, including linalool, which is also used in cockroach insecticide. Limonene, another identified compound, is used in cleaning products and industrial solvents. Imagine discovering that your daily afternoon refreshment shares ingredients with products designed to kill insects and strip grease. Now, LaCroix fought back hard. They denied everything. They said these compounds occur naturally in citrus fruits and other plants. They called the lawsuit baseless, and technically, they might be right about the source of these chemicals. But here is what bothers me. The fact that a compound occurs naturally does not mean it is being delivered to your body in a natural way. When you pick up a can that screams natural in every possible way, you expect something simple: water, bubbles, maybe some fruit essence. You do not expect to learn that the flavoring process involves compounds that double as industrial chemicals and pesticides. Even if those compounds are technically plant-derived, the average consumer is not a chemist. The average senior just wants to know what they are drinking. They want to trust that natural actually means natural. The lawsuit was eventually dismissed, but it exposed something troubling about the entire natural flavors category. Under FDA regulations, natural flavors can include over 100 different chemical compounds, as long as they originate from plant or animal sources. That is an enormous loophole. A company can use processing methods that transform simple fruit extracts into complex chemical cocktails and still call it natural. The word has been stretched so far it has lost all meaning. For seniors managing multiple health conditions, this vagueness is dangerous. What if one of those natural flavor compounds interacts with your blood pressure medication? What if it aggravates acid reflux or irritates your digestive tract? You cannot make informed decisions when the ingredient list simply says natural flavors without any specificity. Your pharmacist cannot advise you. Your doctor cannot warn you. You are flying blind. And there is another concern. LaCroix has faced multiple complaints about inconsistent taste and quality. Some consumers report cans that taste metallic or chemically. Others describe an almost soapy aftertaste that lingers on the tongue. While the company attributes this to variations in natural flavoring, inconsistency in food products can signal quality control problems. If batch quality varies this much, what else might be slipping through? The bright cans promise fun and freshness. The marketing promises natural innocence. But behind those promises are synthetic-sounding compounds, dismissed lawsuits, and quality inconsistencies that should make any health-conscious senior think twice before cracking open another can. Retention trigger. Most people never learn how to spot the truly safe brands, but we will break it down at the very end of this video. Stay with me. Now, at number 7, Topo Chico. Topo Chico, the cult favorite, the brand with a devoted following among bartenders, health enthusiasts, and sparkling water connoisseurs. Bottled from a natural spring in Monterrey, Mexico, Topo Chico has built a reputation for aggressive carbonation and distinctive mineral taste. People swear by it. They say nothing else compares. They call it the champagne of sparkling waters. The bubbles are tighter than other brands, more aggressive. They punch through mixed drinks and hold their fizz longer than competitors. But here is what those devoted fans might not know. In 2021, Consumer Reports conducted extensive testing on dozens of sparkling water brands. They were looking for PFAS, per and polyfluoroalkyl substances, also known as forever chemicals. These synthetic compounds do not break down in the environment or in your body. They accumulate over time. They have been linked to cancer, thyroid disease, immune system suppression, and kidney damage. Scientists call them forever chemicals because once they enter your body, they stay there essentially permanently. Guess which brand tested highest for PFAS contamination? Topo Chico, by a significant margin. The testing found PFAS levels in Topo Chico at 9.76 parts per trillion. While that might sound tiny, consider this. Some health experts argue there is no safe level of PFAS exposure. These chemicals accumulate. Every sip adds to the burden your body is already carrying from decades of environmental exposure through non-stick cookware, waterproof clothing, food packaging, and contaminated tap water. Your body is already dealing with a lifetime of PFAS accumulation. Adding more through your daily beverage is like pouring gasoline on a slow-burning fire. For seniors, PFAS accumulation is particularly concerning. Your kidneys are already working harder than they did at 30. Your immune system is not as robust. Your thyroid may already be struggling. Adding more forever chemicals through a beverage you drink daily, sometimes multiple bottles per day, is loading your body with toxins it cannot eliminate. These chemicals do not flush out. They do not break down. They just sit there, accumulating year after year. Coca-Cola, which owns Topo Chico, responded to the Consumer Reports findings by saying they were working to reduce PFAS levels and that their products met all regulatory requirements. But here is the betrayal of trust. Regulatory requirements for PFAS in bottled water barely exist. The FDA has not established enforceable limits, so when a company says they meet regulatory requirements, they are essentially saying they meet a standard that does not meaningfully exist. It is a non-answer disguised as reassurance. The devoted fans love that aggressive carbonation. They love the distinctive bite, but that signature fizz comes packaged with forever chemicals that your body will never fully eliminate. Topo Chico promises refreshment from ancient Mexican springs. What they deliver is a PFAS load that accumulates silently in your kidneys, liver, and blood. Number 6 is Polar Seltzer. Polar Seltzer, a New England institution since 1882, the oldest family-owned soft drink company in America. With that kind of heritage, you would expect quality control that has been refined over more than a century. You would expect a company that values its legacy enough to protect its consumers. When a business survives for over 140 years, there has to be something special about it, right? But legacy does not guarantee safety. Polar positions itself as a wholesome family brand. Their marketing emphasizes tradition, craftsmanship, and American values. The bottles feature friendly polar bears. The flavors sound refreshing and innocent. Orange vanilla, raspberry lime, blueberry lemonade. Everything about the brand feels trustworthy and nostalgic. It reminds you of simpler times, of summer barbecues and family gatherings, of grandparents who lived long, healthy lives. Yet in that same 2021 Consumer Reports PFAS testing, Polar Seltzer showed detectable levels of forever chemicals, not as high as Topo Chico, but present, measurable, accumulating with every can you drink. The friendly polar bears cannot protect you from synthetic chemicals that never break down. And there is another issue that rarely gets discussed. Polar Seltzer, like many sparkling waters, is acidic. The carbonation process creates carbonic acid, which lowers the pH of the water. While this gives sparkling water its characteristic tang, it also means you are bathing your teeth and digestive system in mild acid throughout the day. Every sip coats your enamel in acidic liquid. For seniors, this matters. Tooth enamel naturally thins with age. Once enamel erodes, it does not grow back. Drinking acidic beverages throughout the day accelerates enamel loss. The result is increased sensitivity, higher cavity risk, and potential dental expenses that Medicare does not cover. A single crown can cost over $1,000, root canals even more, all because of a beverage you thought was harmless, and the acid does not stop at your teeth. Seniors with acid reflux, GERD, or Barrett's esophagus may find sparkling water aggravates their symptoms. The bubbles expand in your stomach. The carbonic acid can relax the lower esophageal sphincter, allowing stomach acid to creep upward. That refreshing fizz can turn into burning discomfort that keeps you awake at night. Polar has been quenching New England thirsts for over 140 years. But heritage cannot protect you from PFAS, and tradition cannot rebuild eroded enamel. The polar bears look friendly. The family ownership sounds reassuring. But the chemistry inside those bottles tells a different story about what you are actually doing to your body. If this helps you stay safer at the store, hit subscribe. It is free and it means you will never miss these exposes. Coming in at number 5, Bubly. Bubly, PepsiCo's cheerful answer to the sparkling water boom. Those bright-colored cans with the playful greetings. Hey you! Hi! Yo! Everything about Bubly screams fun, friendly, and approachable. The marketing targets millennials and health-conscious consumers who want to feel good about their beverage choices. The cans are Instagram-worthy. The flavors have cute names. The whole brand feels like a hug in beverage form. But should seniors feel good about Bubly? Let us look closer. Like LaCroix, Bubly relies on natural flavors to create its fruit-forward taste profiles. And like LaCroix, Bubly provides zero transparency about what those natural flavors actually contain. The ingredient list is maddeningly simple. Carbonated water, natural flavor. That is it. No explanation of sourcing, no clarity on processing methods, no information about potential allergens or chemical compounds. 2 ingredients that tell you almost nothing. For seniors managing multiple medications, this opacity is not just frustrating, it is potentially dangerous. Drug interactions can occur with compounds you never knew you were consuming. A chemical that seems harmless in isolation might inhibit liver enzymes that metabolize your heart medication. A flavoring compound might compete with your blood pressure drugs for absorption. These interactions are subtle, but real. And when you do not know what you are consuming, you cannot avoid them. And then there is the corporate parent. PepsiCo is not a health company. They are a snack and beverage conglomerate whose primary products include Doritos, Cheetos, Mountain Dew, and other processed junk. Bubly exists because PepsiCo saw a profitable trend and wanted market share. Their primary obligation is to shareholders, not to your health. They do not make Bubly because they care about senior wellness. They make it because wellness trends are profitable. Do you think a company that profits from selling corn syrup and artificial cheese flavoring truly cares whether their sparkling water supports senior health? Or do they care about capturing a segment of health-conscious consumers who might otherwise skip the soda aisle entirely? The answer seems obvious when you look at PepsiCo's full product portfolio. Consumer testing has also revealed inconsistencies in Bubly's carbonation levels. Some cans fizz aggressively, others taste nearly flat. While this might seem like a minor quality issue, inconsistent production suggests inconsistent oversight. If they cannot maintain consistent carbonation, what else might be slipping through quality control? What other variables are they failing to monitor? The playful cans wave hello. The marketing promises guilt-free refreshment. But behind those greetings is a corporation more concerned with capturing market share than ensuring seniors can safely enjoy their products. Bubly wants you to feel like you are making a healthy choice. Whether you actually are is a different question entirely. Stick around. The two brands that actually pass safety testing are coming, but only at the very end. You do not want to miss them. At number 4, Schweppes Sparkling Water. Schweppes, one of the oldest names in carbonated beverages, founded in 1783. The original sparkling water, invented by Jacob Schweppes himself, who pioneered the process of artificially carbonating water. With nearly 250 years of history, Schweppes carries an aura of establishment credibility. This is the brand that started it all. Before Perrier, before LaCroix, before sparkling water became a lifestyle choice, there was Schweppes. But age and prestige do not equal safety. Schweppes sparkling water is now owned by Keurig Dr. Pepper in the United States, a massive conglomerate that also owns 7-Up, Sunkist, A&W, and other sugary beverages. The Schweppes heritage has been absorbed into a corporate machine focused on mass production and maximum profit margins. The name remains the same, but the soul of the company has fundamentally changed, and the chemistry reflects that corporate approach. Unlike natural mineral waters that contain beneficial minerals from their source springs, Schweppes sparkling water starts with purified water and adds carbonation. The result is essentially acidic water with bubbles. None of the mineral benefits, all of the enamel-eroding acidity. You get the worst of both worlds. Some Schweppes products also contain added sodium. Check the nutrition label carefully. While 0 calories and 0 sugar sound healthy, sodium content can sneak into formulations through the carbonation or flavoring process. For seniors managing hypertension, and according to the CDC, nearly 75% of Americans over 60 have high blood pressure. Even small amounts of hidden sodium throughout the day add up. That statistic alone should give every senior pause. Here is another statistic that should concern you. The average American consumes about 3,400 milligrams of sodium daily, far more than the recommended 2,300 milligrams, and dangerously more than the 1,500 milligrams recommended for people with hypertension. When sodium hides in beverages you think are healthy, as tracking your intake becomes nearly impossible. You can be meticulous about your food and still exceed your sodium limit through beverages alone. Schweppes promises the sophistication of an historic brand. They promise refreshment with centuries of expertise behind it. What they deliver is acidic, mineral-free water from a corporate beverage giant that also profits from some of the unhealthiest drinks on the market. The heritage is real. The health benefits are not. Number 3. Sparkling Ice. Sparkling Ice. The colorful bottles, the fruit-forward flavors, the promise of sparkling water with vitamins and antioxidants. For seniors looking to add some nutritional value to their beverages, sparkling ice seems like an obvious choice. Hydration plus vitamins? What could be better? The bottles look vibrant and healthy. The flavors sound delicious. Kiwi strawberry, orange mango, black raspberry. It feels like health in a bottle. Plenty, as it turns out. First, let us talk about what sparkling ice actually is. Despite the ice branding that suggests pure, clean refreshment, this is not just sparkling water. Sparkling ice contains sucralose, an artificial sweetener, along with maltodextrine, added vitamins, and artificial colors in some varieties. This is a flavored beverage product masquerading as sparkling water. The marketing wants you to think you are drinking something pure. The ingredient list tells a different story. Sucralose is concerning for seniors on multiple fronts. Research published in the Journal of Toxicology and Environmental Health found that sucralose can reduce beneficial gut bacteria by up to 50%. For seniors, gut health is crucial. Your microbiome affects nutrient absorption, immune function, and even mental health. Disrupting that delicate balance with artificial sweeteners undermines the very health you are trying to protect. You drink it thinking it is good for you, and it is actively harming your digestive system. And sucralose may impact blood sugar regulation. Some studies suggest artificial sweeteners can trigger insulin responses similar to actual sugar, potentially complicating diabetes management. For the millions of seniors managing type 2 diabetes, this hidden impact could sabotage carefully calibrated treatment plans. Your doctor adjusts your medication based on what you report consuming. But how can you report accurately when you do not know what you are actually drinking? Then there are the added vitamins, which sound beneficial until you realize that unregulated vitamin supplementation can cause problems. Sparkling ice contains B vitamins and vitamin D. Excessive B vitamin intake can cause nerve damage. Vitamin D accumulation can lead to calcium buildup, kidney stones, and heart complications. If you are already taking a multivitamin or specific supplements, adding vitamin-enhanced beverages pushes you toward potentially harmful levels. Here is what frustrates me most. Sparkling ice positions itself on store shelves alongside genuine sparkling waters. The colorful bottles look similar. The sparkling name creates association with healthier options. But this product has more in common with diet soda than with actual sparkling water. The marketing is designed to deceive. Seniors deserve better. What is the worst sparkling water you have ever tried? Drop it in the comments below. I want to hear your stories. At number 2, Waterloo Sparkling Water. Waterloo, the Texas brand that surged in popularity over the past several years. Founded in Austin in 2017, Waterloo positions itself as the next generation of sparkling water. Bold flavors, clean ingredients, a commitment to quality that older brands allegedly lack. The branding feels modern and trustworthy. The flavors are adventurous. Black cherry, summer berry, grape, strawberry. The cans are sleek and contemporary. But newer does not necessarily mean safer. Like many sparkling water brands, Waterloo relies on natural flavors without providing specifics. Their website emphasizes what is not in their products. No sugar, no sodium, no artificial flavors, but it provides minimal information about what is in those natural flavors. This vague transparency is a recurring theme in the sparkling water industry, and it should concern every consumer. They tell you what they left out but not what they put in. Waterloo has also faced quality control complaints. Consumer reviews mention cans with metallic tastes, inconsistent carbonation, and occasional off flavors that suggest contamination or production problems. When multiple consumers report similar issues, it suggests systemic problems rather than isolated incidents. One bad can is a fluke. A pattern of complaints is a warning sign. And here is something most people never consider. The aluminum cans themselves may pose health risks. Aluminum cans are lined with BPA or BPA substitute coatings to prevent the aluminum from leaching into beverages. But these coatings can degrade over time, especially if cans are stored improperly or exposed to heat during shipping. Studies have linked BPA exposure to hormone disruption, cardiovascular problems, and diabetes. That can sitting in a hot warehouse for weeks might be leaching chemicals into your drink. For seniors, hormone disruption is particularly concerning. Endocrine imbalances can affect bone density, cognitive function, and cardiovascular health. Adding BPA exposure through daily beverage consumption on top of existing environmental exposure increases cumulative risk. Your body is already dealing with decades of environmental chemical exposure. Why add more? According to industry estimates, Americans consume over 400 billion beverage cans annually. That is a lot of potential BPA exposure hiding in convenient packaging. Every can represents a potential dose of endocrine-disrupting chemicals. Waterloo promises bold Texas innovation. They promise a better sparkling water for a new generation. But innovation without transparent ingredient disclosure and consistent quality control is just marketing. The bold flavors might taste great. What they might be doing to your endocrine system is another question entirely. And at number 1, the worst of the worst, S. Pellegrino. S. Pellegrino, the green bottle, the Italian elegance, the restaurant staple that signals sophistication and good taste. When you order S. Pellegrino at a fine dining establishment, you feel like you are making a refined choice. The brand has spent over a century cultivating an image of European purity and premium quality. The bottle looks like it belongs in a Tuscan villa. The bubbles feel elegant. The mineral taste seems distinguished. But that image is built on marketing, not on safety guarantees. S. Pellegrino is now owned by Nestlé. Or more specifically, Nestlé Waters, one of the largest bottled water companies on Earth. And Nestle has faced repeated controversies about water quality, environmental destruction, and corporate ethics. This is the same company accused of depleting aquifers in drought-stricken communities, misleading consumers about the source of their water, and prioritizing profit over environmental responsibility. Their track record is troubling at best. When you buy Pellegrino, you are not supporting a small Italian mineral water company. You are funding a multinational corporation with a troubling track record. That green bottle with the elegant label puts money in the pockets of a company that has been accused of extracting water from communities that desperately need it. But beyond the corporate ethics, there are specific health concerns for seniors. Pellegrino contains significant levels of minerals: calcium, magnesium, sulfates, and sodium. While minerals can be beneficial, uncontrolled mineral intake creates problems. The sodium content in Pellegrino is higher than many competing brands, around 35 milligrams per liter. For seniors on sodium-restricted diets due to heart failure or hypertension, those milligrams add up quickly when you drink several glasses daily. A bottle at lunch, a bottle at dinner, a bottle while watching television. Suddenly, you have consumed over 100 milligrams of sodium just from water. The sulfate content is also concerning. High sulfate levels can have laxative effects, causing digestive discomfort and potentially interfering with nutrient absorption. For seniors with irritable bowel syndrome, inflammatory bowel disease, or other digestive conditions, heavy mineral waters can trigger uncomfortable symptoms. That elegant dinner out can become an embarrassing rush to the bathroom. And here is the deepest betrayal: that Italian spring water imagery, the alpine source, the natural purity. It obscures the reality of industrial-scale production. Pellegrino bottles millions of liters annually for global distribution. The water may originate from an Italian spring, but it passes through massive industrial processing, packaging, and shipping operations before reaching your table. The romance of the Italian countryside has been replaced by corporate efficiency. Is it not strange how billion-dollar beverage corporations keep having quality issues and ethical controversies, yet their products remain on every restaurant table and grocery shelf? That should tell you something about how this industry actually works. Money protects brands from consequences. Pellegrino promises la dolce vita in a bottle, the sweet life of Italian elegance. What they deliver is corporate water with mineral levels that may not suit senior health, owned by a company more interested in profits than in protecting the people who trust them. The green bottle looks beautiful. The reality inside is far less refined. Ever noticed how these brands keep recalling but never fundamentally changing? Tell me about your experiences in the comments. The first safe option is Mountain Valley Spring Water. Now, after everything we have discussed, the PFAS contamination, the hidden sodium, the mysterious natural flavors, the corporate deceptions, you deserve to know which brands actually meet safety standards. Because safe options do exist, you just need to know where to find them. The first actual safe option is Mountain Valley Spring Water. Here is why Mountain Valley stands apart from the brands we have exposed. Mountain Valley has been bottling water from the same protected spring in the Ouachita Mountains of Arkansas since 1871. That is over 150 years of consistent sourcing from a single, protected location. Unlike brands that source from multiple facilities or municipal supplies, Mountain Valley maintains complete control over their water source. One spring, one location, one standard of quality. The spring is protected by a watershed preservation zone that prohibits development, agriculture, and industrial activity. This means no agricultural runoff, no industrial chemicals, no PFAS contamination from nearby manufacturing. The water is naturally filtered through layers of granite and marble, emerging with a balanced mineral profile that supports health rather than undermining it. Nature does the purification. No chemical treatment needed. Independent testing has consistently shown Mountain Valley water to be free from PFAS, heavy metals, and microbial contamination. Consumer Reports testing did not flag Mountain Valley for concerning chemical levels. The mineral content is naturally balanced. Enough calcium and magnesium to provide benefits, but not enough sodium or sulfates to create problems for seniors on restricted diets. This is what transparency looks like. Mountain Valley also bottles primarily in glass. This eliminates concerns about BPA leaching from can linings or microplastic contamination from plastic bottles. Glass is inert. It does not react with the water inside. What you taste is the actual water, not chemical residue from packaging. The bottle does not change what is inside. For seniors managing blood pressure, heart conditions, or kidney issues, Mountain Valley offers something precious: transparency and consistency. you know exactly what you are getting. The mineral content is stable and documented. There are no mystery natural flavors to worry about, no corporate ownership changes affecting quality standards, no concerning test results swept under the rug. What you see is what you get. The bottles cost more than mass-market brands. Quality has a price. But for seniors prioritizing health over convenience, Mountain Valley Spring Water delivers what so many brands only promise: pure, safe, consistently tested water from a protected source. Sometimes you get what you pay for. The second recommendation is Gerolsteiner Sparkling Mineral Water. Gerolsteiner comes from the volcanic Eifel region of Germany, where water naturally carbonates as it filters through mineral-rich rock formations. Unlike artificially carbonated waters that simply inject CO2 into purified tap water, Gerolsteiner's carbonation occurs naturally underground. You are drinking water the way nature made it. The bubbles form deep in the earth, not in a factory. Germany has some of the strictest water quality regulations on Earth. The German Mineral and Table Water Ordinance sets standards that exceed FDA requirements for bottled water in the United States. Gerolsteiner undergoes rigorous testing at every stage of production, over 500 quality tests annually, conducted by independent laboratories as well as internal quality control. That level of scrutiny is rare in the beverage industry. The mineral profile is exceptional for senior health. Gerolsteiner contains high levels of naturally occurring calcium and magnesium, both essential for bone health, muscle function, and cardiovascular health in aging bodies. The calcium is highly bioavailable, meaning your body actually absorbs and uses it rather than passing it through unprocessed. You are not just consuming minerals, you are actually benefiting from them. Unlike S. Pellegrino, Gerolsteiner maintains lower sodium levels, around 11 milligrams per liter compared to S. Pellegrino's 35 milligrams. For seniors on sodium-restricted diets, this difference matters. You can enjoy mineral-rich sparkling water without sabotaging your blood pressure management. The bubbles without the blood pressure spike. Gerolsteiner has also maintained consistent ownership and production standards for over 130 years. This is not a brand that changes corporate hands every few years, with quality standards shifting based on new profit targets. The commitment to quality is institutional, not circumstantial. What they promise today is what they have delivered for generations. Independent PFAS testing has shown Gerolsteiner to be free from forever chemical contamination. The volcanic rock filtration naturally removes contaminants that industrial processing might miss. The water emerges pure because the source is pure, not because chemicals are added during treatment to mask underlying contamination. Purity from the source, not from the factory. For seniors who want the effervescence and enjoyment of sparkling water without the health risks we have documented, Gerolsteiner delivers authentic mineral water with transparent sourcing, rigorous testing, and a mineral profile that actually supports aging bodies rather than stressing them. This is what sparkling water should be. Not all sparkling waters are created equal. Some can quietly damage your kidneys, erode your bones, and interfere with your medications. Now you know which 9 brands to avoid and which 2 actually deserve your trust. Your health is too important to leave to corporate marketing claims. Subscribe now, and if you are watching on TV, tap your remote so you never get blindsided again.